Morning comes very slowly and quietly in a small town, not with big alarms or traffic or the rush of a city waking up, but with stillness, with the sound of birds chirping, with a soft glow touching the rooftops as the sun rises, with cars passing by as they go to work, and with the ability to say, hey, I woke up today and I am starting fresh. No matter what happened yesterday, I'm free to start anew once again. The sun comes up, and that is a reminder that we can start over. Whether we went through something good or bad the day before, it's in the past, and we can build off of it, but we can also start over, start something new, keep going forward before anything else, before the noise of the day, before the celebrations and the crowds. There is a moment of peace, a moment of silence. The world is almost stopped. Somehow that quiet feels more patriotic than anything else, because that is really America. The quietness of a farm at sunrise, the quietness of acres and acres of land just to yourself, the quietness and stillness of being able to go out on the lake and just wait for fish to bite. There's patience in that. There's patience in having this quiet, but it's also so peaceful. And that's the America. That is exactly the America that generations of Americans fought to protect. Not the hustle and bustle, not the noise, not social media, not not the arguments over politics and everything else in between, but the peace, the quiet, the stillness, the sunrise. The flag does not need fireworks to matter. It doesn't need a parade. It doesn't need a holiday. It matters because of what it represents. It matters because of who it represents. And it matters because of the people who carried its meaning long before any of us were here. Every flag you see today, on porches, on storefronts, on quiet streets, at baseball stadiums, it is a reminder of them, those that fought for us, that fight for us, because it's a reminder that freedom is not loud. Freedom is lived. Freedom is protected. Freedom is earned. And in towns like Milton, in towns like Honesdale, where I grew up, you see that truth everywhere you look. Because this is the America I know, the America I grew up on. It's not loud. It's not polished. But it's real. People getting ready for their day, going out to the store, getting their groceries for the week, going to church on Sundays, really growing in their faith, families doing things together, baseball stadiums being filled. And that's just that we have the freedom to do that. We have the freedom to do those things because this country is the greatest country in the world, and you cannot argue that. Try to argue that with me. I'm here. But that is what this country is. That's the country I grew up with, and that's the country I want it to be continuing, where we have pride in where we come from, pride of what we do each and every day. Well, no matter what you do, if you're a construction worker, if If you're a doctor, you're a nurse, you're a teacher, a baseball coach, and everything else in between, a journalist like myself, a photographer, and all that stuff, you matter. What you do matters as long as you show up every day looking to be better, striving to be a greater version of yourself, no matter what you believe in, then that is all that matters. And that's what makes this country great, is because you can believe in what you want to believe in. You have the ability to do that. You have the ability to talk to others, disagree, get into disagreements with others, and for the most part, not have anything happen to you. Rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. But that's the America we have fought for, that we can go out and have discussions and have, even if we disagree, we can be open and not have to argue. And we're trying. I think people need to be better, and I've myself have tried to be better at that. But this is the America. As I drive through town, I see flags everywhere, and the patriotism. Isn't just something you celebrate. It's something you live. It's the way you treat people, to treat each other, the way communities come together. It's in the small towns that carry traditions that big cities often forget. It gets lost in the hustle and bustle and the noise. And the 4th of July is just not like, it's not just fireworks in the sky. It's not just cookouts. It's not lawn chairs and kids running around with sparklers. It's a story. While we do those things to celebrate it, we have to just take a step back this weekend especially and know what it's really about. It's a story. The 4th of July is a story, and especially now as we celebrate the 250th anniversary, we have to remember that story. It's a story written by ordinary people who did extraordinary things. A story of courage, a story of conviction, a story of sacrifice. It's a story of service members who left home so the rest of us could stay home. The ones who fought, the ones who served, the ones who carried the weight of freedom on their shoulders, the ones who came back changed, and the ones who didn't come back at all. Freedom isn't free, it never has been, and it never will be. And that quiet peace of the morning, peaceful streets, small towns, the sunrise, and of course we can't forget the sunset as the end of another day and the beginning of a new day the next day with the sunrise. Proof of what they protected. Every flag you see today is a tribute to someone's courage. So remember when they're flying, remember when you fly your own, to understand its meaning, understand why we do it. It's someone's sacrifice, it's someone's story. So you have to remember that as you sip on your beer today. You host your barbecues, you have your burgers and hot dogs, you hang out with family and friends all day, and do some fun activities throughout the weekend. Just remember that fact, that we are able to do this. We are able to watch baseball and watch the World Cup, gather around our backyards for cookouts, go swimming, go to church, see rainbows in the sky, drive around as much as you want, and be able to just be free. Be free in what you want to do with your life because of the sacrifices that were made. And of course, that includes being able to jump out of a plane, both literally and figuratively. Because Old Glory can sustain the elements, can live through so much, and be old and tattered, and this ragged old flag, as the great Johnny Cash said. Because the flag can go through so much, so have we as a country, and we can keep going. We can keep going through it, keep flying high and proud in the sky. We can make it through going off to Texas and coming back to Pennsylvania like myself. More on that in a bit. But this flag, this country, the sacrifices that were made are so important to celebrate, are so important to realize why we are able to celebrate. We are able to celebrate this great country and be proud of it. Be proud as we go out on hikes, as we go out to do our jobs each and every day. It really is something you can't take for granted. You see that flag flying. You see horses going down stockyards just like I did last year in Texas. What a great atmosphere. What a great sight for the 4th last year. In a place where patriotism is not a performance, it's value. It's holding your values close to the chest. It's growing up in a time where family was the most important. Family and God and faith were the most important things you can hold to close to your heart. God is before everything in everything that I do. I was raised that way. I fell off of my faith path a little while, but ultimately came back. And growing up the way I did, being having a family that understood where it came from, having a family that just really was passionate about its values, and being able to go out and do so many great things as a child, as going on different vacations, being able to be raised the right way, being taught different things as I grew up, being taught how to treat people the right way, just being a kind soul, a kind person, just being not holding a grudge, not just not taking things for granted. My parents taught me early that the 4th wasn't just a holiday. My grandfather, he taught me that as well. He fought for this great country. He fought for this country. He came back to the United States. He married my grandmother, who he met in Germany. And that's the kind of life that I dream about, is the life that my grandparents on both sides of my family, they had a great life, the both of them together. They were just the all American family. They raised my parents so well, which and in turn that around on them to raise me and my sister so well as well, because those are the values that I hold dear to my heart. Those values that my grandparents passed on to my parents and my parents passed on to me, and just being able to grow up and play catch with my papa, my mom's dad, being able to watch baseball with him, growing up and becoming becoming an Eagles fan because of him. That's how it went, and that's because of the values that were instilled in me, that I was able to have such great time with him, with such great time with both my grandparents, great time with my family as I grew up. And that is exactly the America I'm dreaming of. That's the America I want to continue to happen. I want the life that my parents gave. I want my future children to have the life that my parents gave me, and I want to be able to build a family the way that they built a family. I want to grow up, or I want my kids to grow up being able to know that you're proud, being able to show that you're proud of who you are, of where you come from, and your values, your family values, and be able to pass that on to future generations. You don't take freedom for granted. You don't take the people who defend it for granted. You honor them. You remember them. You live in a way that shows you're grateful. I grew up with faith, with family, with small town rhythms that taught me what mattered, with people who believed in hard work, humility, and gratitude. Those values became the foundation of my life. The compass I didn't always follow, I strayed from it, but I always came back to it. And now, more than ever, I am so proud of where I came from. I am so proud of the family I grew up in. And now more than ever, I always get reminiscent of it. I always get nostalgia from it. Especially watching old home videos, I realize that I took it for granted a lot during my childhood, and now I look back and I wish I could just go back for a day, but I don't have to. Even as much as I want to go back for even for a day just to watch it all take place, I lived it, and I can continue to live it. I can continue to live in a childlike faith like the Bible teaches us. Jesus teaches us. He tells us to come to him in like a childlike faith, and that's what I'm going to do, and that's what I've failed to do for so long, but I want to continue to strive to do that, to be better, to be a better person, to be a better follower of Jesus, just to be a better believer, to be a better American, because that is what we're here for. That is why I was put on this earth. That is why I was born into a great family. I was born into a great faith because I want to pass that on to my kids. I want to pass those values on, those foundations. The values that were passed to me became the foundation of my life, and they will become the foundation of my life for the rest of my life. The compass is definitely more on a straight path now. I have my eye on the prize, and that prize is Jesus, having a life in heaven with the Lord. And that, folks, is what this weekend is all about as we celebrate the 250th birthday of America on the 4th of July weekend. Living your American and family values through and through, celebrating smart, staying safe, and honoring the country that gave us this life and passing it on to future generations. Happy 250th birthday, America. Keep on flying high.